Hello everybody, welcome to Cooper's Keys. In this video I want to do a breakdown of Yohan Kim's How Great Is Our God. So we'll play through it with him, listen to it, and then I'll break it down. We'll also have note by note. I'll show you the virtual keyboard so that you guys can so that you guys won't miss a single note in this breakdown. So let's just listen to the first part of the song and then we'll break it down. So with typical Yohan Kim, he'll take influences from jazz and apply them to gospel. So he's taking what he does with jazz, where they have the typical motifs or the themes, which is just like a short phrase or melody that you play that repeats itself, sometimes just after every verse or before every chorus, etc. And then he just takes that and then he applies it to here, which is beautiful because it sounds good. It's like an introduction. It's just like simply making up your own introduction. So what he's actually doing here, let's just look at the virtual keyboard. We'll break it down. So walking down to the 4, run up to the G minor, slide up to the B flat when you get to the G minor, walk down, and I love the tension here. There's a lot of tension, a lot of crunch chords. And then suddenly the mood just switches and swings to these massive orchestral type of chords, right? And so we're working down to one of my most favorite chords. That's the minor 11 chord here at the C. But before we land there, we go from here, which is the G minor chord, typical G minor. That's my left hand. My right hand is playing. Let me just show you my fingers as well. This is a D flat, D flat, A flat, D flat again, F, B, E flat, G to this C minor 11 chord, right? I'll show you how to build this C minor 11 chord in a very easy way. And the reason why I'm going to show you how to build the minor 11 chord, not just the C minor 11 chord, but you'll be able to build a minor 11 chord from any root note and make good use of it, have some good mileage of it in just a minute. So let's play through with him first of all and double check what we're doing. Okay. So like I promised you guys I was going to break down this minor 11 chord. So it's going to repeat itself. It's going to come back, this whole idea of the minor 11 chord. So this will be the perfect time to address it. So most students, you ask them to play a minor 11 chord. Let's use C as an example. They know to start with the C minor chord. Let's have a look at the virtual keyboard while I show you this. C, E flat, G, standard C minor chord. And then you're looking for the minor 11, so they count up 8, 9, so the 9 is going to be D, 10, 11, it's going to be F. And I say here, I have a minor 11 chord, and they may throw in the dominant 7 as well, if they're a little more informed. So now we have a minor 11 chord. That's how it looks in the textbook. But if you take this shape, right, or you take this chord and you really look at it and analyze it, you find that what you have is 2 chords here. You have a C minor chord and a B flat chord. So now really I just have 2 triads. That's all I'm working with. Instead of having a big algebraic equation here, I've only got 2 triads. This allows me to be creative with it because now I know I can play around with this. Because it's simple, it's just a B flat triad. We've been playing triads since we started learning the keyboard, so that shouldn't be too hard. Now, how do I find the relevant major chord to put over the minor chord if I'm playing a minor 11? First thing you should do is find your minor chord, right? And then just invert it. So I'm just taking this 3, to the flat chord, flat note, and playing it up top. And then I'm thinking to myself, in the right hand, I'll just go from my root note, which is C in this case, go down a whole tone, and that gives me B flat, and I know it's the B flat there. Let's do it one more time with G. So if I was doing this on G, I would find G minor, right? Why not expand it a little bit? Open voicing. And then go down a whole tone, that will be F. That means I know the chord over that's going to be an F, and I have the minor 11 chord there. And this is very powerful and useful information to know, because this really frees you up from having to do a lot of brain power, a lot of brain working whenever we approach the minor 11 chord. And with this song that we're studying here, How Great Is Our God, we'll be coming across the minor 11 one more time, just in a different way, applied in a different way. But I want you guys to pay attention. And if you see the minor 11 chord before I mention it, just give yourself some points, because that means you're really understanding what's going on here. So get back into the song. How great. Just the one chord. Still on the one chord. This is where things get interesting here, because we need to work out what we're doing here. We need to work out what this is and why he's done this. One of the ways that we can understand this better is to know what the basic way of playing the song is. We're in the key of B flat, by the way, just in case I didn't mention it. So B flat is our one chord, right? The basic way of playing the song is 1, 7, 6. Sing with me, how great. But instead of doing that, Yohan is going for sing with me, how great. Alright, so there is lessons to be learned from here. It's still a 7-3-6 movement, except he's just going straight to the 3. And then he's going to the 6. Well, you ask yourself, how is this a 3? Well, it's a 3 because it's rootless. It's rootless, so normally when you play your 3 chord, when we have a 7-3-6 move in gospel, the 3 is normally going to be major, which adds this foreign note here from the B flat scale, right? But this foreign note is what allows us to land nice into the 6, because it's just begging to be resolved to the 6. So typically the 3 would be D, F sharp, C. But if you notice, there's a tritone in here. So he's found the tritone in the 3 and he's used that as a rootless voicing. When you have a tritone like this, I'm going to show you another trick here. When you have a tritone like this, you can always pair it, especially on the 3. So I'm using this 3 tritone, my 3 tritone. I can always take the major chord of the root and play it over the tritone, and it will sound beautiful, like a splash chord. So the root here is going to be B flat. If I take B flat and play it over this tritone, listen to that. It's beautiful. Sure, you can call it like a G Org 7 sharp 11 if you want, but we know it's a 3. We know that we're having a 7-3-6 move here, and all we've done is simplified this by playing it rootlessly, because we're playing jazz, I guess. Rootlessly, so that the 3 is implied. And because we're using a tritone, we know we can make this tritone sound brighter by having the 1 over it. Now there's other tritones that are in the scale, and there's other ways to make them sound amazing by pairing them up with a triad. I really like to emphasize triads, because triads are really powerful and underrated. But when we get to those other tritones, I'll explain it to you. But for now, just remember that whenever you have a 3, there's a tritone embedded there somewhere with the 7 and the 3. And you can always use the root to make it sound a little brighter. Sorry for the background noise. So let's have a look at this again. 1. So that's our tritone with the 1 over there, kind of implied with this B flat. to the 6 chord. He doesn't do anything special with it here, with this. Okay. Well, what was that movement here? Now, if you know the song, then you probably already have an idea. What we have here is the rootless chord voicings yet again, but we're having another typical gospel move in which the aim is to land on the 4 chord. But before we land on the 4 chord, we go 5 minor, 1 7, and then we land on the 4. You may have heard this in Azadir. Here we go. 5 minor, 1 7, then we land on the 4. In this case, 5 7, this rootless though, so that's just implied. 1 7, that's also implied. Okay, I forgot to take off the virtual keyboard. You guys didn't really see what I was doing there with my fingers. So we have a that's gonna bring us to the 4 chord. If you just see this the first time, you may miss it. So this last section here, before we finish off on the verse, this is a 4 minor chord. Now the 4 minor chord is quintessential to gospel. No one's really heard, no one who plays gospel has never heard this move before. That right there is the 4 minor. And it really speaks gospel. And this is why it works. So you can have the 4 minor being substituted here as we're doing a 2-5-1 turnaround before we end the song. Five. Think of it that way, right? How great. It's playing along that idea. So now let's just run it through with Yohan and play this first verse. I really wish I could get through so much more in one lesson, but there's just so much to talk about. It's nearly impossible. Okay, wait. I can't leave you guys without just showing you how that A minor 11 comes in yet one more time. As I said, it would come in again. For those that already noticed it, so this time instead of just doing the 3 into the 6, he's done the whole 7 3 6 move. For those that have missed it, this is the implied A minor 11 chord. Again, remember how we built this chord is you find the A, which is the root, and then the whole tone down from that is G. So I know I can just stride this G triad over this A, right? That's amazing. And then I can lead that to the 3 chord. So the voicing he's done here is a rootless 1 to the 3, another rootless 1, playing off the tritone. But I guess we'll dive into more detail with this in another video. But I hope I've left you with enough to work on for now. Thank you very much. Goodbye, and I'll see you guys next time.